Don't call him Adam. South Carolina man's genes helped date first man. You're older than you think. DNA from an unnamed African American from South Carolina is so distinctive that it led scientists to a unique conclusion. The roots of the human tree date back much further than previously thought. This lineage diverged from previously known Y chromosomes about 338,000 years ago, a time when anatomically modern humans had not yet evolved, said Michael Hammer, an associate professor in the University of Arizona's Department of Ecology and Evolutionary Biology, and a research scientist at the UA's Arizona Research Labs. This pushes back the time the last common Y chromosome ancestor lived by almost 70%. Pull quote. The human Y chromosome, the hereditary factor determining male sex, is unlike the other human chromosomes in one key way. The majority of it doesn't exchange genetic material with other chromosomes, making it a simple way to trace ancestral relationships. Two Y chromosomes carry the same mutation. It is because they share a common paternal ancestor at some point in the past. The more mutations that separate two Y chromosomes, the further back in time the common ancestor lived. And the South Carolina man's genes, obtained by a consumer genetic testing company and given to the National Geographic Genographic Project, have more than any seen to date.
That's what Ancestry and what's that other one, 23andMe, and all those genetic companies are doing, because you don't read the fine print. It tells you right there, once you give over your saliva, your DNA, they can sell it to whoever they want to, and they can do whatever they want to with it. That's why Ancestry got busted with back in 2011 with selling your genetics to law enforcement. Like I said, Y chromosome for the father is passed on from father to son to his son, so on and so forth, never changing. It doesn't need to mix with any of the other Y chromosomes given to you. That's why the Bible, like I said, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. But hey.
His lineage didn't fit anywhere on the existing Y chromosome tree, even though the tree had been constructed based on perhaps 500,000 individuals or more. Nobody expected to find anything like this, Hammer said. The fossil record dates back about 200,000 years, he said. This chromosome goes back to an even earlier time. Either interbreeding with Neanderthals or other populations led to the unusual genetic makeup, he said, or humans evolved far earlier than the extant fossil record suggests. Either way, this isn't proof of Adam, Hammer said. The scientist questioned suggestions that the DNA could point to a Garden of Eden, first man and woman scenario, a so-called mitochondrial Eve, or Y chromosome Adam. Human evolution is far more complex, he said. It's a misconception that the genealogy of a single genetic region reflects population divergence.
See that?
Instead, our results suggest that there are pockets of genetically isolated communities that together preserve a great deal of human diversity. Indeed, it's likely that additional discoveries will push that lineage back further, he noted. The results are published in the American Journal of Human Genetics.
See that? Because of all the different migration patterns and intermixing, it's impossible to sit there and say, oh, you're from Africa. It's impossible for them to sit there and say, you're from Europe. But you don't know that. You just get your DNA results and you think, oh man, I'm this, I'm that, man, whatever.